it's your first day. Welcome.
We tried to write a handbook, but you all kept getting it wrong. So we've put our regulations into song. You've got it made. You've got it made. When you work at the Mages and Merlot Wizards and Spellbinding Arcade. You've got it made. You've got it made. When you work at the Mages and Merlot Wizards and Spellbinding Arcade. You've got it made. You've got it made. You've got it made. When you work at the Mages and Merlot Wizards and Spellbinding Arcade.
Welcome aboard! Watch your step!
You'll be here forever.
Woo! Where am I?
If madcap energy and big chaotic moves from both players and GM are your speed, check out the Dead Dragon Society podcast. The first episode of their 5th edition D&D game concludes with one of the wildest moves I've ever heard a GM pull, and that sets the direction for the whole campaign. So give the Dead Dragon Society a listen. And if you find yourself in an extra-dimensional wizard and spellbinding arcade that seems to defy the laws of time and causality, tell them that RPG Major sent you. Maybe they'll give you a discount. Stick around after the credits to hear a song suggested by loyal listener Kimmy, titled Chili Pavili Willy. If you've got an idea for a song you'd like us to record, jump on into our Discord, suggest it to us. And now, the finale of the Arsonist's agenda.
We rejoin our pitch-perfect private eyes as they drive with mathematician and admitted arsonist Carrie Mumford towards a home he says he set ablaze with lightning.
The three of you leave Ponderosa University with Professor Carrie Mumford in tow, heading towards what he has told you he expects to be the burning home of Sarah Higginbotham.
How fast is Aubrey driving?
Pretty fast. It's an emergency, so I'm going about the speed limit. I can't go any faster. It's the limit.
No, I get it.
I imagine Fabio is sort of sitting in the truck bed with that sort of sliding window open so he can poke his head in and have conversations. But if there's anything you want to say or do along the way, any conversations you want to have...
Fabio opens the tiny slot in the back to where the window is in the truck, and he goes,
I cannot believe you willingly started a fire.
Well, I told you, it's what's necessary to set the entire system to rights.
I am a fireman. Can you just see how that would be weird to me?
You set fires intentionally in training, don't you?
Like in the forest, not like in the city. That's like control fire, you know? That's like where it's safe. That's like, I don't know, you're like, I'm sure you got like lab equipment rules you would never ever break. Like you're like taking beakers and just like putting your nose in it and taking a deep whiff.
Are you perhaps confusing me for a chemist?
Yes, yes I am.
Well, life isn't safe.
Well, we can agree on that.
And nothing great is accomplished without risk.
We don't agree on that.
Professor, what are you expecting to see when we get there, besides fire?
Fascinating question, isn't it? Every part of the world has stories about spirits that have always lived there. Whether it's a spirit that embodies winter, or the spirit of the land, or the animal. As I've learned to study the fabric of reality more closely through mathematics, I've come to believe that all of these stories are similar across cultures, regions, and times because the spirits inherent to the land are the same. So, what am I expecting to find? I'm expecting to wake up the land.
And what? The land will then revolt against Bracco Industries? Is that the plan? Why do you think you can harness the land any more so that they can harness whatever is going wrong with all of their experiments?
Because it won't be me harnessing it, you see. I found an old book in the library. I was reading about the legends of this region, and many of them mention I hesitate to use the term God, but they all mention an entity called the Transformer, who gave the people and the animals and the land its qualities that we know today. They made the salmon swim upstream so that the bear could eat them. I believe that if I can wake this creature up, this entity will set things right.
Mara will give a little nudge to Aubrey and see if that checks any lore boxes that she's familiar with.
I don't think Aubrey knows about this specifically, but the idea of nature being personified in different ways and coexisting with humans seems like nothing of a stretch.
Yeah.
So, like, it's gonna be like a big earth guy? Like a big woken up earth guy? Like a big stone man?
If I'm honest, I'm not quite sure. The maths that I've done suggest that there is an entity of a higher order. What that looks like is as beyond my ability to imagine as thinking in 12 dimensions is for you.
And how will you know if you've been successful? If it starts attacking us, if it kills one of us, if it starts attacking you, if it kills you, is that all part of the plan? At what point do we save your life, is what I'm asking.
My life hardly matters in this equation.
Okay.
In the book I read, the Transformer was a bringer of balance. So, if what is necessary to bring balance back is to change the inherent nature of the people of this area, or of the weather, or of the systems that are here, so be it.
You don't really value human life very much, do you?
Which is ironic given your purpose behind all of this.
That's just the thing. I value nothing more than human life. But I understand that sometimes you need to burn a forest for a healthy forest to grow.
Whoa. Okay. I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
But are we pulling up to the house at this point?
If you want.
Or do you have more things to ask? I could dig in farther.
That's
but I'm
fine.
thinking
No,
it might
he
just
doesn't.
be-
He doesn't know anything about controlled burns. He just thinks it's a cool metaphor to justify his thing. I actually do wonder if there's a role
Yeah.
I could do. The way he's characterizing what he's summoning sounds like it is ultimately a force of change, which can be good or bad. And I'm wondering if it poses. I'm wondering if this creature or being poses as much danger to the world as he seems to think it is, or will.
I'll say that would be a primal check at 2 or a Fey check at 4, because the Fey route is a bit more indirect.
I'll still do that one, just because I think that it's through the lens of like someone who. Aubrey is someone whose whole domain is like change and transformation, and Autumn as a part of that. So the first thing that occurs to her is it feels like maybe he's mischaracterized this being in a way that does it require us to fight or be in direct opposition to it or not. That is two successes and 6 advantages.
Wow. Whoa. All right. The existence of an entity like this makes sense to you. It fits in within almost every sort of mythological framework. There is a concept in a lot of fairy tales. It's talked about as both a concept and an entity called the wild hunt, where lots of creatures will band together. They sort of lose their inherent nature to form something bigger, to become part of a superorganism. Thinking about sort of the higher order of creatures in fairy, it may be that this transformer is an amalgamated entity like that, or the other thing that fits is it's just a god, right? In the way that there are powerful creatures and that there are gods, and then there's sort of, potential to scale up beyond that, maybe.
A follow-up question. If this being has the domain that he described and the power he described and that affiliation, does it pose the threat to the entire city that he has summoned it for? Like, is this an end that is compatible with, or is this something that is more of a Promethean, right, bringing fire to the people, where they're kind of at odds and there's a tension there?
Yes is the answer.
Okay.
the sort of very shorthanded version of the story that he told you rhymes with the Prometheus myth of like these systems were put in place, these gifts were given to the region, but also the idea that they need to be in balance is core to that. And so where in a system like this, where there's things that are built up and built up and built up, pushing something off of a hill is going to be destructive, right? It's going to be dangerous for the thing pushed off of the hill, but it's going to reach a new balance point. What that is, where it is, what it looks like for the people, and if he's implying that this could change the nature of the humans, like change the inherent human nature of the people of the region, what would that be?
Well,
Yeah.
so wait. Also part of table talk sort of thing. Like, what I was, if this is way off base, I don't know if there's like a way to be told this or not. But I think we talked early on about like some entity or the fire itself, or in this case maybe the transformer, like the god itself being angry that humans are trying to create things that won't burn.
Oh, yeah.
Would that and that sort of offense be what killed Laurel, or was it Brocco Industries?
That was a hypothesis that you all floated, and
Okay.
not something that I see evidence to support that directly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was an industry gross.
Accidents happen.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what that was.
You have seen nothing that indicates otherwise, other than the fact that there's like so many NDAs around it.
Right.
So is there something hinky going on there?
Right.
Maybe, but you haven't seen any direct evidence of anything other than that.
Can I ask him another question?
For sure.
Carrie, why are you focusing these fires on the people that worked with your brother? Like, why are you burning their houses in particular? Don't you think they've also went through a trauma?
Well, their work is in direct opposition to the cycle of nature. Creating wood that can't burn would seem to me to be something that would spit in the eye of a creature of balance, a creature that values cycles. And so my hope is that by calling attention to them, I will wake up this transformer.
Do you know why the houses would have smelled like tobacco or sage?
Sure, I'm doing my best to mimic old rituals.
Oh. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You planted all of that stuff?
What? No. How... With mathematics, I can demonstrate that two places are similar. By using tobacco as part of the process while I was on the tower, it seems that, well, the tobacco smell permeated the site where the lightning struck.
Oh, so he was at the tower to set everything up and getting an electrical charge strong enough or something like that? Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Do we want to arrive at the house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's plenty of chat for one car ride.
Okay, cool.
So you arrive at Sarah's home for the second time. In all of the other cases, the homes were described both by the people who were living in them and made it out, or by the neighbors or the fire marshal as going up all at once. That's not what's happened here. This house is burning, but it's half of the house is on fire while the other half is not. And you can see a look of fascination on Carrie's face. I thought so. Working from the tower allowed me to direct the lightning towards the part of the house that receives the energy, but constructing the similarity to my library must have targeted her office. Yes.
I'm already out of the car at this point. As he's murmuring to myself, I've got like a big piece of fabric from like a coat that I'm sort of using to like cover around my mouth and nose to keep smoke from getting in. I pass one of Freddy's guys' axes to everyone. You already have enough, actually, Fabio, but for breaking down doors if we need to.
Yeah, what's the plan here? Fabio, you want to take
I
the
want
lead
to
on
use
this?
your phone to call 911. We have a fire.
Yeah, we want to bring the fire department here?
Yes.
She's looking at Aubrey. Okay, yep, will do. Yeah, I'll call the fire department.
Thank you for calling. One of the neighbors has already called. Fire trucks are on the way.
Okay, thank you so much.
Fabio gets out of the car and runs to a nearby fire extinguisher and starts to open it. Like, get it ready for when the fire truck arrives. He's going into firefighter mode.
The three of you hear from inside the house,
Yeah.
someone like banging on the door from the inside.
I toss Fabio a
runs.
scarf to wrap around his nose and mouth, and we'll both run in. I know where he's going.
Yeah, Mara will take her jacket and maybe do this thing and kind of like fearfully but follow them in.
Carrie is getting out of the truck and just like looking around sort of expectantly. You're not quite sure what he's hoping to see, but you get a sense of like, what the heck? Where's the thing? Something big should be happening right now.
Well, maybe actually noticing that, I might go back and be like, did something go wrong? Is this not what you wanted to see?
I suppose I'll just have to set another one to get its attention.
So that's why you've been doing all of these? Because they haven't been working? And this is the 5th time?
It will work.
Statistically, as a math professor, shouldn't you know by now that it's probably not going to work?
It will work.
Interesting. All right, dude, you're going to have to stay here and deal with the fire department, and she'll run in.
Tell him about the sunk cost fallacy. Or gambler's fallacy, I guess, is more this one.
Literally.
Fabio is still running, getting out his axe, and heading right for wherever the thumping is.
Yeah.
And looking around to see what he can see.
So you can see that the neighbors from the houses on either side have gotten out their garden hoses and are pointing it at Sarah's home and doing their best. Also, spraying some water in their houses as well. At the same time, you hear a thumping coming from the front door of the house that sounds like someone trying to bang on the door to get out.
You guys are doing great. You're doing great. You're doing great.
And approaches the door and says,
Hello, can you hear me? Are you there?
I can hear you. I can't get the door open. The back door is already lit up.
Okay, can you take a couple steps back so I can try and break this door open?
Okay.
Okay, get far away and safe.
The fire. I can't get the...
okay, just get low. And he takes out his axe and hits the door.
Without too much trouble, the door busts open. You're able to sort of chop away at where the deadbolt is, pull the door open, and as you do, smoke comes billowing out, and you see inside, sort of crouched down low underneath the smoke that's accumulating there, a woman. She looks to be in her mid-40s. She's blonde. It's starting to go white. She's a little heavier set, and she's got a hanging file tucked under her arm.
Can you be moved safely?
I think so. And she like rushes out past you.
I escort her out.
As you start taking her towards the street, you see that Carrie is pulling things out of his bag. It looks like he's gotten these 3 little clay figurines of animals. One a bear, one a fish, one a crow. And he lobs them towards the burning house.
Apprehend that man.
And he just yells up at the sky, "If you're not going to wake up, I'll wake you up! Come on!" And the figurines enter the flames, and you hear crashing from inside the house as these figurines grow from small bits of clay to 8-foot-tall creatures of flame and ash. And they start rampaging through the house, just smashing, destroying, working their way from the center outwards.
So Sarah's fine. We've got her some water. She's all right. Well, boys, let's go.
Maybe the fire just needs to spread a bit farther.
You're talking about balance, but now you're willingly trying to mess with this? You think you're greater than whatever this being is, so you can decide what it needs to do? No. There's no time for reason. We need to stop
Fabio begins to run toward in between where the biggest creature is heading toward the people, if he thinks he can make it.
Yeah, so to do that, you would have to rush into the burning house.
Well, then I rush headlong into the house.
And we're like, Fabio, and run after him. We'll go.
Yeah,
too.
we'll run after.
Great. But
I
he's safe,
would say someone apprehend that guy before he does more.
But we're all supposed to be there.
Yeah, but we're all supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Can I just club him on my way out or something?
Just knock him out?
Can I just tie him up or something quickly? No, I don't have time.
There's no time. Can I get a rushing into a burning building song?
Or I can just ask him, not very nicely, to stay where he is at.
Sure can.
Yeah, okay. Well, there's people around. I don't want to...
The fire department's not here yet.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone's
I'll
far
just
away.
speak to Carrie real quick. Carrie, stop whatever you're doing and sit down, man.
All right, roll.
with the voice.
Man.
She's angry.
It's going to be charm, which goes against cool, which is presence-based. This is just going against 2.
1 yellow and 3 green. Oh, thank God.
1 success and looks like 4 net advantages.
Great. Could the advantages be like, since I said his name, nobody else is affected by what I just said?
Sure.
Great.
Take 2 strain.
Okay, that's fine.
Man.
The directive was sit down and don't do anything?
Yeah,
Something like that?
pretty
Okay.
much.
He is sat.
Can I take his bag on my way out? I want to get his bag.
You can take his bag.
I want to take his bag. I want to take his stuff.
So he's sort of a little closer to the truck. Would you like make your way over to him to take it before running into the burning building?
No, I would just run into the burning building.
Do y'all think you have a running into a burning building song in you?
Sure, yes. Here we go. Here we go, we're running. Here we go. Here we go, we're running. Here we go. Here we go, we're running.
This is a moment in our lives. This is what it's all about, helping people survive. This is how you feel purpose, running into a fire. This is what I was put on this earth for, to save the lives.
Here we go, we're running. Here we go, we're running. Running. Here we go, we're running. Here we go, we're running.
You all learned in school what to do in a fire drill.
Stop, drop, and roll.
You know what you're supposed to do, but in the moment, is it what you will
rock and
do? No, you gotta go right towards the fire and smoke. No, get to a safe location. No, we're running. Here we go. Here we go. We're running.
It's almost like we're in slow motion, but we're running. Oh, we're running.
When the fire is spreading, oh, watch it burn and snap. You ain't got time to pause and reflect, no time for thinking caps. It's a time for action. It's a time to make your move. If you let the fire burn out of control, who knows what could happen?
No more stop, drop and roll, only run, rock and roll. We're running. Here we go, we're running to the fire.
Let's
Here we go, we're running.
drop and roll.
Rock and roll.
Run, rock and roll.
No stop, drop and roll.
Stop,
only
drop and roll.
Rock and roll.
Run, rock and roll.
Yeah, sorry, my bad.
I was gonna do the same thing. Oh yeah.
Run, rock and roll.
I was gonna do run, run, and run. Oh, yours is better.
Mr. Bear, please come back.
So you rush into this burning building, and you are surrounded by swirling ash and embers that are flying. The roof of the house has been compromised enough to this point that most of the smoke is venting up and out, but that also means that the fire is just burning well. You see these 3 creatures, ? Just grabbing things. The bear grabbing things with his front paws, and as soon as it does, they ignite. The salmon is sort of jumping up and down out of the ground. It seems to be able to swim through the ground effortlessly, but everywhere it leaps up, fire spreads, and they're heading for the exterior walls of the house. The crow is pecking at things with its beak and starting to spread its wings, getting ready to a light into the air.
Mr. Bear, please come back.
It doesn't respond to sound at all.
Ooh. Maybe if we start trying to put out the fire, they'll focus their attention on us.
I didn't bring any water. I wave my arms. Mr. Bear! Mr. Bear!
Mara did earlier, I think, spend a story point to have a fire extinguisher sort of in her kit.
Yeah, you both have fire extinguishers.
Yeah, it was in the back of the pour. Ooh, we took it.
You can absolutely have taken it with you.
Let's go. It looks like this is how you use this thing? Great. Yeah. I'll start spraying it everywhere.
That gets their attention.
Great.
The three of their heads sort of snap towards the three of you as you stand near the entrance to the home with fire spreading all around you. The bear charges at the three of you.
Stand back. If someone must die today, it will be me. And Fabio doesn't take out his fire extinguisher and instead takes out his axe, does a forward somersault, jumps into the air, and cleaves the bear in twain.
And it falls to being a pile of ashes as the salmon leaps up out of the ground towards Mara.
And I'll grab my trusty stun gun, zap it at the salmon, hoping for the best.
As you do, it explodes into a cloud of ash, covering Mara head to toe.
She'll shake it up. I was like, well, that's why I usually prefer my salmon smoked. Great. Second time I joke and it's still funny.
As that's happening, the crow is swooping down, trying to grab at Aubrey.
My hands sort of dance over the snapped clasp of the axe that I've been thinking about pulling out all day, but still have not. And as it gets closer, I unsnap it, and then I snap it back closed, and my eyes go to a piece of burnt, charred furniture from nearby, and I pull it, this sort of side table, in front of me to deflect or become the object of grasp for this bird.
As its talons press on the surface of this table, Aubrey presses back. It leaps back up into the air and circles around, looking for another angle to dive bomb.
Looking at them, do these creatures seem to be things that were conjured from another world the way that Fabio was? Or do these seem to be things that he has animated from our own world with magic?
So you saw that they didn't respond to words. Mm-hmm. The read that you have in this moment is that these are not creatures with any sort of intelligence. These are just animated sculptures.
This is a guy who read a book thinking he's doing something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we've only have one left, right? It's just
the crow.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Bear.
The crow comes plunging in through the smoke, focused once again on Aubrey.
Fabio trips on a banana peel that had fallen out of Mara's pocket during the confusion.
When I shook off all the ash.
For the third time today.
I'll quickly help him up as the crow is plunging and maybe start to aim my stun gun unless somebody wanted to heroically step forward.
For Aubrey, she's been in her head about being effective or being worthy or feeling about what she deserves, trying to put herself in harm's way unnecessarily in order to feel better about herself. And she's maybe seen someone else doing that today a little bit as she looks at Fabio like trying to step into a fire. And just reflexively, her hand goes to the snap and to the handle. She pulls out the axe.
The handle being oiled so smoothly, the flare of the handle fitting your hand perfectly so that you know if you swing, you will hit.
It's not really a matter of reclaiming lost power or self-validation in this moment. It's just a realization that worrying so much about that kind of fey pirate honor isn't really helping her or her friends right now. It all feels very, very silly. But this is something real, and it's tangible, and it's something that in this moment, she can swing.
As she swings at this crow, at this construct, this manifestation of Carrie's madness, she connects, striking it in the head where it already smolders, and it bursts alight, calling to mind, perhaps for a moment, the legend of the phoenix, as the entire bird is brilliantly lit instead of lit by embers before it falls to the ground in a pile.
That's a controlled burn.
Okay, I think that's everything. Should we get out of here? Yeah?
We gotta go get that guy.
Okay, Fabio, you lead the way. You've been taking charge all day, but now I know it's not a misogynistic thing. You care so much about us, and you're great at what you do. Let's get out of here.
You have a woman at home who needs you, Mara.
I know I do. So awesome.
Can I add a little caveat to what I was saying earlier?
Yeah.
Because I think I was spinning the Fabio thing maybe the wrong way with the axe. I think both the idea that sort of fae and pirate notions of honor are a little bit silly, but also they're the things that drive you to protect yourself and your friends. And you can't be too precious about them, but that doesn't mean you need to leave them in the dust.
Holding on, but not too tightly.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to swing with a loose grip.
Is that a song?
We wear our legacies around us like a raincoat or a tool belt or an old too heavy hat. Sometimes they're comfortable, but sometimes they remind us of the way things used to be when we were all that. So you hold on, you don't let go, and your knuckles go white, but you can't just let it show. Hold on with a loose grip. You gotta hold on with a loose grip. Don't let it slip away. Maybe not today, what yesteryear can teach you. But maybe living in the past is a place no one can reach you. So you gotta hold on with a loose grip. You gotta hold on with a loose grip. With a loose grip.
Hold on. Hold on.
I wear pictures of my family
Hold on.
inside my coat. I think of how everyone I save is them. We all keep them, memories adorned to propel us. They give us something greater for us to keep going.
Hold on. Hold on.
And as we hold on to their memories, and as we hold on to what they've given us, and as we hold on to what they mean to us,
Hold on.
we gotta do it with a loose grip. Even as we love, we gotta
Hold on with a loose grip. Gotta hold on
Fabio runs to go tackle Carrie.
Who is sitting with his back against Aubrey's truck.
Did we explain what happens when I tell people to do things? That you're caught up to speed on that?
Not at all.
Don't know. All I know is that I gotta go stop him before he goes
Got it.
and
Cool.
throws another clay idol.
Is there a way for me to like kind of snap him back to life, or do I have to tell him something again? When does it wear off, or does it ever?
We haven't really explored
I
that
know.
part yet. It can't last forever.
No,
Right? That'd be
so bad.
yeah, the implications would be wild.
Yeah.
In hypnosis, people slowly come back to their senses if you leave them alone.
I think it's probably the play here, right?
He's wearing off.
My gut says it has sort of a half-life of 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so after an hour has passed, there's maybe a lingering inkling of it. But
Yeah. Cool.
yeah,
Maybe tackling him isn't necessary then. Maybe he could just run over to him and
you burst out of the house. You see the neighbors still spraying their hoses. You start to hear the sound of sirens approaching in the distance now. And you see Carrie seated, leaning up against the truck as you sort of burst out with this energy of, gonna tackle him. He's sitting compliantly.
maybe I'll just take his bag then and look through his pockets, get his stuff out. I want to get his equipment away from him.
Mm-hmm. So you've seen him sort of have things on his belt before, sort of a little bandolier on his belt. He has that. It is fully stocked with vials full of liquid. The bag has a notebook, has pens, has batteries, has wire, has a few small sort of nature tokens. It has a branch from a madrona tree, which is a tree that grows on the coast in Washington. It has an owl pellet, sort of what an owl regurgitates. It has a fossil of a trilobite, a small one. You're not sure what the purpose of any of these things are, but they seem to be symbolically meaningful for him.
And while I'm removing these things, he's just like staring off into the distance.
He is staring at Mara.
I have nothing else to do then. He seems... I just don't want to wake him.
I'd like to make sure like Sarah's okay. Maybe like give her some water. Has she left at this point though? Probably.
All of that happened in the span of under a minute.
Oh,
right?
wow.
Like rushing into the house, the whole like fighting of the
Okay.
the construct that Carrie created. All of that, happened in just a moment in the way that fights happen so quickly.
Sure.
Sarah has walked over to one of her neighbors. As you're sort of looking around for her, the neighbor comes back out to her with a glass of water.
Okay. And then the firemen are approaching. Okay, I gotta turn. Fabio, do you want to talk this over with the fire department, or what would be best for you right now? I don't want to get you caught up in any sort of implications with any of this. So if you want to be here, great. And if you don't, we can leave right now.
I don't know. What do you think?
What do I? Well, maybe we should let them handle this and we can regroup. But Carrie's kind of in a state where he's not a threat for maybe 3 more minutes.
Someone should be a witness to the fact that this man started this fire. I suppose I will do that.
Okay.
I'm imagining Fabio describing sitting in his office. Right? Fabio is just like so credulous and naive seeming to me. Just like, I imagine he would just be very straightforward. Like, he wrote down some equations.
He used magic.
He
started the fire.
I wonder how that'll go for him.
Can I take his bandolier?
Yes.
Who's bandolier?
Carries.
He had some slots on his belt.
Oh, right.
Like the flying squirrel potion and the blob
you
potion and all
definitely
those.
need those.
Yeah.
Potion? Who said anything about potions?
No, the vials. Okay.
I think Mara's kind of like looking around. She sees Sarah's okay. She sees the fire department is starting to get the house, spray it all good with their big. And Fabio, does it look like the fire department's kind of like, oh, this is how he always is? Like they're not taking it back? Or do I need to come defend him at all? Oh, can I come talk to them and further implicate Carrie in maybe a more concrete people who don't know magic way? But what will that do? Like, what I'm wondering is like, do we want to get him arrested? Like, that could hold him off for a bit.
This man started these fires.
Yeah.
So Mara knows with absolute certainty that police and the legal system would not take seriously.
No.
This man started a fire with magic from across town.
Right. So that's why I'm wondering, can I come up with a more not magic story that has enough nuggets of truth to implicate him to still get him And is that what we want to do? Or do we want to handle them ourselves?
Do you guys have a system that you guys do? Do you like do jail
No,
and
we
stuff?
don't have a jail. We don't have They're stuck in the pavilion. Pavilion is like our purgatory. No, I don't know. Just making stuff up. I think I'm going to turn to Aubrey on this one.
Our choices right now are that if he goes on doing as he's done, either he continues to create incredible danger for people while failing to unleash the magic of the earth that certainly will not do what he expects. And if he's successful in that, then it will, my guess is, destroy him. And if he's unsuccessful in that, he'll just continue to hurt people until he gets destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a magic prison he can go to? Like, could we give him to some like magic? Like, who's the magic prison?
The zoo.
The zoo! Oh!
Or like magic
Put him
prison?
in the zoo? Is that what you're saying?
No, like a magic prison you trust?
Oh, take him to the underzoo.
The place that you know for dangerous creatures
Is the underzoo.
is the underzoo, which you all
Yeah.
Don't
hate.
the Fae? Okay, Phil is the person. Don't the Fae have a prison? Or do you know? Oh my god.
I mean, they have like
I mean, some of-
servitude contracts and stuff. I don't know.
No, the underzoo is a great call because they'll deal with him there.
Is that an entity you trust?
No, not at all. But
So you can't just
do we
give him to
trust
some Fae person who will like lock him away for a bit?
You have to find an entrance to a Fae court, which only appear when they want them to. It's not something you just find.
Oh my god. All right, let's go to the evil zoo people and hand him over to the evil guys. I'm sure that'll go great.
if that's what you're suggesting, I feel like there's some.
I'm not suggesting that. I'm saying that is the answer to the question that Fabio posed.
Is there
Oh,
magic jail?
Is there a magic jail? Yes, it's the
Yeah,
underzoo.
It's the underzoo.
And from what limited information you all have about the underzoo, it is used as a prison for creatures from myth. You're not sure if a human.
Wouldn't last a day. We'd be a death sentence. Okay. Well, there's another path to this where I'm able to talk to the fireman and be like, this is the story. This man is very grief-stricken and has gone on some sort of revenge plot because of a recent event at Bracco Industries where he lost his brother. These fires all belong to people on the team, and he's been starting them out of revenge. I think he needs help and deal with it that way. So there's two paths. We take the very human path and the very evil magic path.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, remote-controlled firebomb is an analogy that they would understand, right? And so the fact that he was at the university while this started,
Yeah.
well, we saw him pull out a radio or something. I don't know, something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I also don't want to dismiss. I don't think I have the jurisdiction to make Fae deals anymore, but I could try.
Oh goodness!
We just got to do something with this guy who can like do magic with like, I don't know, a battery.
Yeah, and I would feel weird trusting like just solely human authorities with that. He'll do something in the cell.
He's gonna do magic stuff.
Aubrey has a roommate who could hold on to him.
The mirror?
Lock him in the magic mirror.
I don't think that's
the closest
I think
thing
that's
to what I
the
was
worst
thinking.
idea.
It's pretty awful. Yeah.
Puts people in the Z dimension, you know, or like whatever.
Also, the mirror replaces them with a more effective version of themselves.
With a more singularly focused version.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad. Do the Verteres have like a jail that we can put?
That's actually you.
I have a little black book. I know who could mess stuff up. Oh,
I mean, if you move a story point to my side, then
it could. Is
they,
that what,
there could be something there, yeah,
is
that you can
what
establish.
we want to do? Oh, you know what? Because since I've been working with my mom, establishing contacts at Bracco Industries, this is a threat to Bracco Industries and their PR, right? So if anything, if there is like I mean, she would know if there's some sort of stronger prison that's not quite the Underzoo that we could send this person to.
Your mother,
Yeah.
she would know.
Is that the route we want to take? What are we thinking, y'all?
So you know that she would know. You also don't assume it would be savory. I'm sort of intentionally throwing y'all a problem with no clean answer, just because I'm curious what
That's
you're,
what I'm thinking.
what you're
Like,
going to do with it.
what's the holdup with the Underzoo? He's going to get to a point where he's killing people. So I'm like,
That doesn't make giving him a bad situation a good idea. He's still a person who's grieving. We got to like get him into I think it would be better to keep him and just talk to him. I mean, it's weird, but that would be the ethically best thing to do.
okay, then we can take him back to the office and leave right now.
Oh my god.
I'm proposing all these solutions. No, that one doesn't work because of this. That one doesn't work because of this. Then what else?
I don't like any of my ideas.
But we can't do it. What were the ideas that were possible though? It's like the Fae thing that doesn't work.
Like, I mean, it might.
It might. Okay, well then.
You can try any of these things.
Yeah, it's hard to apply like real world ideas of crime and punishment to wacky magical scenarios.
Yes.
Because they don't really map.
Which authority do you trust to handle things like this? Is there one or none? It sounds like there is no good option. We trust no one. It is the Wild West out here, and we just have to do what we think is right.
I kind of want it's the Wild West out here, but we can. But I know we need to figure this out so we can keep moving forward. I agree. There's a downside to everything. The local authorities, they will not be able to actually understand and quell the root of this issue because they have no understanding or appreciation of magic. The Underzoo is a wild card, and the fact that we know he won't be an issue again, but ethically, it's not the greatest choice.
They could just promote him. We don't know, right? Would they just be like, hey, here's a resourceful guy who can make it happen?
That's true. Okay, in terms of door number 3, could we even loop in Gamlin on this? Could we give him a call?
Who's that?
He's a friend. Aubrey, if we were to have the Fae take over and do something with him, I mean, they couldn't do like a brain wipe, could they?
Oh,
Oh my god.
Not an actual wipe. Jeez, y'all, like just to defuse the bomb, not hurt him, but just like put
Just
him on a
erase
different
his
course.
memories? That's
No.
killing him.
the Underzoo does
Okay,
too.
fine.
They take memories all the time.
Oh my god.
We gotta keep him in the closet. I don't know what else to do.
Well, we've been talking all about healthy fires, right? Burning things so that they can grow back and be better.
Okay.
If he's the thing that needs to be burned right now so there's not larger damage in the future, burn in a metaphorical sense. Just neutralizing the threat, okay? Aubrey, what were you going to say? I apologize.
I was going to say that he seems like an enterprising and project-oriented man, and whatever Gamlin's working on could probably turn his talents to something that is not more destructive, but perhaps chaotic in a different sense, because he's been deliberately unforthcoming about what he's actually up to. But if we want him to stay our friend and help us out when the time comes, maybe it's a way to build trust.
Give him a job?
Offer him an alternative to whatever conversation he's going to have if we leave.
What do you mean?
Just that the fire department and folks are all here.
I see.
He can have that conversation with them, or...
Would he?
Who's Gamlin?
Gamlin was a character who came in for the last arc that we recorded. He sort of runs an organization of private investigators. He recruited this team to help him with a case that is local.
But he's affiliated with a fake organization, but
Yes.
he won't tell us which one.
Right.
But he seems to be friendly. So it is the closest thing to a Fae authority that we trust. And he is one of the few Fae we know that has not actively wiped anyone's memories, as far as we know.
And he said that we made a deal that we'd meet as friends the next time that we saw him. It could work just to have someone else's eyes on him. I don't know. I'm just not sure what we're wanting to accomplish out of this.
The goal is to get this guy in a place where he won't start more fires.
But in a way that's ethically okay for him, too. That's what I'm hearing. Because he
Yeah.
won't start more if he's in the Underzoo.
But then he's like a dead man, maybe, or we don't. I mean, you know these people better than me. They might be like, sounds like a great, useful guy. We'll get him to steal things or whatever.
I trust Gamlin more than the Underzoo,
Okay.
if that's what it comes down to.
Okay. He's still kind of in his in-between state after I spoke with him in a harsh tone. So why don't we take him back to the office for now? And then we can get in contact with Gamlin and go from there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can have a we
Tie him
can
up.
we can at least pitch it to him.
Okay. Well, because like as in table talk, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm like, oh, yeah, in terms of
it's-
options. And
it's
I
fraught,
get that
yeah.
it's a good problem. It's a great problem.
Yeah.
It's an interesting problem.
It is. And like in terms of trouble coming up, that's not the worst thing for the story. If he were to be just with the local authorities, but also like, because we could get him a therapist. That's probably what he needs.
Genuinely? Yeah. But how do you keep him out of trouble in the meantime? Is the question,
true,
yeah.
true. Because he was very much like Thanos' mindset, where it was like, oh crap, it's all or nothing. Like there's no, yeah. But it's a good reminder to show ethics and kindness and humanity to someone who doesn't have that in their own brain.
So it seems like you were landing on calling Gamlin in for help?
Yeah, and I think maybe we can have a conversation with him about his options too.
Yeah.
With Carrie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And pitch him this is the one that we think might be best for him given what he's said so far, but...
Back at your office over bowls of chili. So there's a chili restaurant called the Chili Pavilion.
It's right underneath our office.
That's right underneath their office.
That's right.
Yeah. So at the pavilion, over bowls of warm, heartening chili, with the effect of Mara's voice starting to ebb in Carrie's mind. What do you want to say to him?
First, I have a constraint. I think he needs to be apprehended in a more... Like, we don't know what he's capable of, right? So,
Yeah.
like, we've
so
seen him.
you're not letting him eat a bowl of chili?
I mean, I don't know if I'm willing for him to be untied up, and I don't know if you can have a tied up person at a chili restaurant.
Oh, no, we're in our office. We're above.
Okay, so you got to-go cups.
We can take to-go cups. I just don't think I can have a tied up person in a chili.
I just love the image then of this hulking firefighter spoon feeding this guy chili.
Yes.
If you talk, you get a bite.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
It's the nighttime.
Oh, would you like some chili?
Yes, please.
How are you feeling about the fire?
Confounded. Maybe it's that I'm not attacking the problem centrally enough. Perhaps Poppy Brocco is the one whose home needs to burn. If she is the central representation of all of this...
Stop you right there. Thank you for helping us prove the point that you will continue to enact destruction if left unchecked. We have some fun options for you in terms of how you are going to be neutralized, so to say. Behind door number 1, we'll turn you into the police and the local forces. Not a great option, as we don't trust them very much, and your understanding outweighs all of theirs combined.
They are simpletons, yes.
I love being in agreement. Moving on. Behind door number 2, a secret, very terrifying place that's underneath a local famous attraction that we don't trust either because the horrifying things that happen there. We also just think that you need help and guidance more than anything else, and care.
Are you going to leave me in the ruins?
Nope, much worse. Moving on. We're not going to do that option, though. The third option we've talked a bit about. Aubrey, would you like to present option number 3?
There's an option, and it requires you giving up this mission, this project, and turning your considerable knowledge towards something else that may play a role in toppling power structures, but maybe with more warmth than heat. It would mean working with, and this is conditional on others being interested in supporting you in this, so understand we'd be going out on a huge limb for you here. Folks who are magical in nature, who are looking for help with a very covert project. Not humans, so not corporate, not Poppy Brocco, but it would mean never setting fires again.
Why would you go out on a limb for me?
Well, no one else has.
Also, the other options seem terrible for you and for us.
I don't want to kill you.
On that we agree.
Yeah. And for all that you've read books about forestry, maybe if your revenge, your quest to use the people that your brother died to save as a lightning rod for destruction in such a way as to endanger them, make his sacrifice in vain, calling attention to a perceived injustice that they did that your own brother was no less complicit in. They were all working on that project. None of them were at the top.
That seems to deflate him a fair bit.
Let this quest for revenge die and let it be a nurse log. And the righteousness that you feel, the desire to set injustices right, there's things that can grow from that. But the tree right now is rotten. She looks at her axe. So you need to cut it down and let it die. And if you do, then we can help something grow.
You can see that there are tears falling slowly down his cheeks, just sliding down as you brought up his brother, brought up his sacrifice, and that he was part of this system that Carrie is now trying to dismantle or topple or just smash. All right.
We'll make the call. We'll set up a meeting.
And also, there is a way that if we're all saying eye to eye and knowing that your knowledge and wisdom and drive can still be used here in Foxglove, but not for destruction. I mean, that would be a big leap of faith that we would be taking on your part, but we can set up anything we want with other people and other connections. But if we've gotten through to him and he's fine here, that's something I didn't expect, but that was very beautiful, what you just said. So I don't know. Do we still want to get him out of here and give him something else to do? Because that could be really cool, too.
Yeah, fresh start. At least the offer of one.
Yeah, cool.
When my wife died in my arms,
Goodness, I'm terribly sorry.
I know what it's like to rage at the world. It is the most painful feeling when you feel like the world has betrayed you. And there's so much pain that you can't see anything else. And I see myself in you now. I'm sure there are things in your life that you want to care for, and I would love to help you with that. Do you have any pets at home? Or people who you need to contact, letters to write?
I have an African grey.
Is that an animal?
It's a parrot.
Would you like him to come with you?
She needs to come with me.
I'll go get it.
Also, the job might involve him staying in town. We don't know.
Yeah,
That's unclear.
We're
Yeah.
just getting him a meeting with someone who might hire him.
true. Right.
Well, in case it happens, I'll do that.
Carrie, can we trust you to walk out of here and just go take care of yourself until we can speak to you again?
You're asking me if you can trust me.
Yep.
Should I say no?
I don't know.
So the sense that Mara has gotten from this is that he is open to another possibility. And specifically when it is in opposition to worse options. The read that she's getting is not that this speech has changed his life.
Yeah.
I think we should keep him until the meeting. I don't think we should just let him go.
Though I do think that's something that's going to happen off camera.
I don't want to detain people.
Yeah. Well, the meeting also is just like,
Yeah.
it's going to happen off camera.
Can you give me your word, at least until the meeting? No fires. Not against anyone else, and not yourself.
At least until the meeting, no fires. Agreed. Can explore some other possibility.
I want to see if I can use any fey magic from my axe to hold him to this, or at least for the axe to grow warm if he breaks it.
The possibility certainly exists. Let's have Aubrey roll a fey magic check to bind someone to a promise. That's the fact that it's in perfect alignment with what fey magic usually does is going to add a blue dice to this, and is going to go against 2 purple.
That is 1 success.
You feel an old familiar feeling of a weight settling on your shoulders. You know that a piece of your will is going to be occupied helping him maintain this promise, sort of acting on him continually until its conditions are met, until the meeting ends. It's as if Aubrey bears the responsibility equally with Carrie.
I'm so used to giving people strings on me, and I so rarely hold strings on other people.
Well, I should probably go see my parents. They're probably a little worried.
Yeah. Please, of course.
Tell them hi from us.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You're a friend now, Fabio. Whenever you need investigative help or anything else, please don't hesitate to call us.
Can I tell them about the stuff that happened today? Is it like secret stuff or like don't tell your parents stuff?
I love that he's 6 or 5. It's so funny. Yeah.
Well, you kind of talked to them about magic enough since they're your parents.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell them that you stopped a really bad guy and he won't be lighting fires anymore, and that your hypothesis was right.
But like other magic, there's like a whole magic world.
Oh.
You know, I made friends with magic people.
I don't have any opposition to it, but we have enough enemies now that you telling them our names
It could endanger.
might endanger them.
Oh, I really got into some serious stuff.
Well, as a caveat of that, we will protect you and help you as much as you've offered to protect us.
Which is a lot.
Thanks, guys. Mara, I hope that you find your calm when the storm comes next. I thank you for all of your guidance and camaraderie and giving me a drink and ice cream. That was very nice. And I hope that you feel anchored now that you are engaged.
Thank you, Fabio. And she'll give him a very sweet hug. I hope you know how much you've inspired me and put me on the right path again for helping people.
Thank you for saving lives with me today. Aubrey,
Fabio.
thank you for helping me learn to feel. Now I can just go feel wherever I want to feel and see what I find. I'm a little afraid of what I'll find, but I learned from you that that's okay too. If it happens or if it doesn't, sometimes magic is there and sometimes it's there but you can't find it, and there's a lot of things that could happen, but all of those things are okay.
Thank you for saying that. It does mean a lot. You are a folk hero in the real world and a human in the real world. You're both at once, and you wear both well, and it's great to see.
I wish you luck in your war. I am sorry it rages on. Next time we drive somewhere, I will go in the trunk if you would like.
Actually would love to also learn how to do calligraphy because you're so good at it.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea how I know how to do that. But, yeah, I could show you for sure.
And when your sister's in town, we'd love to meet her. She seems really cool.
Yeah, you want to meet Angela?
Sure. We're your friends now. Just keep in contact with us, whatever you need.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give you my parents' number. So you can call the house and I will be there.
Great.
Okay, well, I got to go.
Yeah,
I got to go home and tell my parents some of what happens in the Safeway. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Bye, Fabio.
And, let me know when I got to come back for the guy and the meeting or the trial if I need to. I could be there or not. It's up to you.
We'll let you know.
Okay, call soon.
Okay, bye.
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 And Fabio heads off.
He really never had any intention of paying us at all.
No. But you know what?
Not even with sort of a magical pearl or an old saber. I think that's the end of the scene.
Do you all want to do any follow-up scenes?
Sure, I could go see my
Yeah,
gal.
I got something after.
I would love to go pick her up in my vehicle. Date night.
She asked you to pick her up from the coffee shop where she was working, from quicker than a beam of light.
Yeah. Yes. You want to go see a new movie? What movie is it?
Little fires everywhere. No.
Yeah.
Big times at the big top.
Yeah. Stepsisters. Like stepbrothers?
Oh.
Sounds like a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, well, whatever.
So the two of you are going to go see
a new rom-com.
a new rom-com.
Great. Yeah, love it.
When you show up at Quicker, she's there sitting inside talking with a man in a bright blue suit.
I'll kind of pull up and grab her attention and
And she waves at you to come inside.
walk on in, sit down next to her. Hi. Sorry to interrupt. I'm ready whenever you are.
Hey babe, my uncle popped into town. Thought you'd like to meet him.
Oh, hello. Hi. I'm Mara. I reach my hand out.
This guy stands up. He's a little shorter than Mara. He's like 5'4", maybe. His skin looks very tan. His hair is black. He looks like he could be anywhere from 30 to 50, but is in great shape. Deep smile lines around his eyes. His suit is impeccable, right? It is vivid blue fabric, like the sky at twilight. It's this rich, saturated color. He puts his hand out to shake yours. Jay.
Yes, Uncle Jay, that's right. Sir, I love your suit, by the way. I've never seen anything like it. It's really fantastic.
Oh, this old thing? You're very kind. Kiddo here tells me you're working on some kind of mystery.
Oh, she goes a little red and looks at Yes, actually, in addition to working with my family, I run a detective agency with some friends, and the one that we got into this last week was really complicated. It had to do with a lot of the fires that had been burning around town, and this misled kind of individual that hopefully we found a better path for him. But yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of what brought me to town, too.
Really?
Yeah?
The same... Are you here for Carrie Mumford? The fires? Everything? Am I not supposed to say anything? What?
Well...
Okay,
a man
scratch
said...
that, go back. Isn't it common, or is it not common knowledge? No?
That's up to you.
Okay,
Just say it. What's the problem?
I don't know.
It's fine.
I don't care.
Oh.
I don't do whatever you want. This is Phil's internal monologue. Phil's internal thought was, oh no, what if he works for the bad guys and now it's all out? Oh.
Then that's fine.
You light enough signal fires, you're going to get someone's attention. It's just... to me, it reads like a kid. You know? Like, they heard a story once. They believed every word. When there's plenty of adults around that could have gone and asked.
So, what he was doing, it did work. It did get someone's attention, and that someone is you.
He nods his head at you in a way that feels oddly avian.
Well, I'll trust that it's in the hands that it belongs to now. All of the work he was attempting to do. Would, then, in this analogy, you have any ideas for a way to neutralize what he's been doing? We had some route planned, but if you're part of what the authority figure is in this situation, I wouldn't want to overstep. No? Okay. My bad?
Both Jays start laughing at the idea of him being an authority figure.
Oh.
Not really how it works. Sorry.
Okay.
It sounds like he needs a new story, because the one he's trying to tell, it's not working for him.
Well, then I'll leave the ending of this one to you all, then?
Not how this works.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna accept that I'm not gonna understand what's going on and trust that if I had overstepped and if we had overstepped, you'd let me know.
Uncle Jay turns to his niece and says, I like her. She's got a good head on her shoulders. Just, and he looks back at Mara. Don't say anything too forcefully, huh?
Uh-huh. Yep. Sounds good. She's like, hasn't had that talk. Oh, no.
He didn't completely out you.
No.
Just...
No.
Yeah.
I think she'll say like, yeah, yes, sir. Sounds good. Almost as like a dad, you know, thing.
Well, have fun on your date. I'll see you for dinner tomorrow at Jay. Of course, gives him a hug and then hops off the sort of bar stool that was looking out the window and heads off to the movies with Mara.
While we're driving, I'll turn to her and be like, I should have just told you all about all of this from the start, shouldn't I?
All about what?
Well, I don't know. I for some reason, I hesitated getting into all of the details because I felt like I didn't want to endanger you. But I'm sorry. I think I underestimated you.
You are adorable.
And then I'll floor it, and then we'll just keep driving. We'll have to give her a talk about the whole siren thing another time.
What's Aubrey up to?
I want to write a letter. I've been thinking about having strings on people and people who have strings on me, and maybe feeling a little bit emboldened by the weight sitting on my shoulders in a different way. Or from my anger at not being able to right bigger wrongs in one fell swoop. A box is going to appear on Freddie's doorstep, or a P.O. box, or wherever he gets his business mail. It's going to have a few things in it. The patch that I took from his guys.
With the fur cone?
One of those things is going to be a letter in perfect pirate calligraphy. Dear Mr. Van Sweeten, it's come to my attention that you are seeking an audience with me. It's come to my attention because you sent your associates to kidnap me, which I understand is a way you go about things. If you'd like to speak, then consider me not someone to be kidnapped, but someone worth doing business with. An associate, a dignitary, something of that nature. If you want to give me your words, then give them to me. It has also come to my attention that a friend of mine is in your company, and perhaps your care. Knowing your wealth and famous hospitality, I can only imagine and assume that you take care of my friend in a way that I would recognize as care. Or I will take care of you in a way that you will not recognize. The other thing in the box is the handle of one of his associates' axes. The metal has been taken off of it, and the handle has been carved into a stake with a little ribbon around it.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening to this arc of RPG Major. Getting to tell these stories means a lot to me, and to all of us here at RPG Major. You can really help us out by reviewing this show, sharing it with a friend, or posting comments about it in Discords or Reddit threads where people ask for new podcasts or on your social media. If you know an adult you'd call a theater kid, or anyone who plays D&D or other RPGs, please let them know we exist. It really helps. Also, I wanted to take a quick second to talk about the myths behind this episode. The Coast Salish people have lived in the Pacific Northwest of the US much longer than Europeans have, and have a rich mythology. As a storyteller, I want to include more than just European myths, to weave in threads of lore from all over the world. Not because I think I own it, but because there are themes in each people's stories that tell us something about what it means to be human. And because hopefully it'll make someone curious and some others feel seen. The Transformer, or Changer, and Blue Jay are just two of a whole panoply of fascinating characters from the stories of the Coast Salish that I'd encourage you to go and read more about. Referencing others' stories can feel like shaky ground to walk on as a storyteller. I tried to do my research and to handle this story with care. But if you think I've missed the mark and want to have an honest conversation about it, you can reach me at podcast@rpgmajor.com. All right, we'll see you next time. Fabio is played by special guest Phil Guerin. Learn improv from Phil in the comfort of your own home by searching for Improv from Zero on Udemy, or find his book, The Very Practical Improv Survival Guide, on Kindle. Mara Vertere is played by Lauren Drake, who performs with musical improv team We Have Some Notes and in scripted theater around Seattle. Find her on socials at La La Drake. Aubrey Stump is played by Camilla Franklin. Camilla also creates all the art and visual design for the show. Find her on Instagram at Camillastrator. All music for this arc of RPG Major was created live in the room by our incredible accompanist, Noah Samuels. Find him on Instagram at Samuels_Noah. And I'm Helix. I perform with musical improv team We Have Some Notes and Jet City Improv. If you want to chat, you can find me and the rest of the cast in our Discord, and find the show on social media at RPG Major. And if you would do us a huge favor, tell somebody else about this show. It helps us a ton. All right, we'll see you next time.
Bert, we come here all the time, and sometimes it feels like maybe we're like around a campfire, but the campfire is chilly, and you could maybe tell us a story or something about the history of this place.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important to our lives and every single day of our lives and every single meal of our lives. But how did it all begin? Because it must have begun with a dream, right?
I hope so.
Well, you might think that it sounds silly, but it started with a dream by my old man Willie. He said, son, sit down on my knee and I'll tell you a tale of what could be. Chili Pavilli, Chili Pavilli, we'll make it and they'll all come. Chili Pavilli, Chili Pavilli, the best bowl of soup, my son. Now, We started with the flavors, cumin and cayenne. We experimented things like vanilla, but you can't make chili with that, man. Chili Pavilli, Chili Pavilli. If we pick it, they will come.
And we're here.
Chili Pavilli, Chili Pavilli. Best bowl of soup, my son.
Bert, that's beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I've been running it since,
The audience has not been authorized to learn the fate of Chili Pavilli Willy.
Good for him.
Beautiful.
That rocks.
Tired of these guys. I just want to save someone. I don't think that's going to help, but I'm...
No.
Presumably this is not going to make it in the podcast. Presumably this has a, like, return address or something, or a way to get in touch with you.
He
Or
knows.
maybe it will make.
I assume
well,
that
that's the thing
he's-
is,
He's had his guys following me.
so
I assume that he has ways of getting in touch with me and that it would be an insult to him to insinuate that he doesn't. He can put some effort in.
they started following Aubrey when Aubrey left Van's house. Like, he literally didn't know. The only connection he had was, there were people who were working with Van. And so when you went to Van's house, they started following you that day, which is why, for the several weeks beforehand, you didn't have a tail that you would have ever noticed. So, but also it's fair to assume that he can spend his resources figuring
He can
out who
spend
you
his
are.
resources figuring it out. I'm not going to give him that easy.